Karma Evolution Anti-Satanic Movement. What is the Karma Evolution Anti-Satanic Movement? Before we can dive into the concept of Karma Evolution Anti-Satanic Movement, let me define what Karma Evolution means. Karma Evolution means the evolution of love. The Creator is all about one concept, which is assuming all the law of creation, which is love. Love brings life. Life is the one that is productive. There's a love that is so mighty, based on a perfect structure of love, that love brings eternal life. Love resurrects people from destruction, from death. That's why it's called karma. But now the word evolution is the concept of evolving. For we do not know how to love because we do not know the roots. How to proper and perfectly love one another as we should love one another. If we are evolving, that means the way we used to love in the past can change as future comes. It could change in 1 year, it could change in 2 years as research comes. As the truth comes, that is how love will change. Love meaning the root and revelation on how to act and treat each other. The rules and regulation on how to love each other, body, spirit, and soul, and ecologically. Most important is that in that Karma Evolution, we want to have an ecological harmony with creation. We are part of the ecology and not a destruction to ecology. But it starts with ourselves. Loving ourselves as we love our neighbor, but we have to love ourselves as. This is where we find out what the perfect loving your neighbor as you love yourself is. That means we're evolving and we're becoming perfect and perfectionizing. Then the next word is anti-shatanic. Anti-shatanic is very important to understand. We are against everything that is of what we call today evil, of that what is not good. And that what is not good is perspective, which we have to find out. But we know the root of the word shatanic. And of course, it's a movement. A movement means it's a movement that we are doing. So on that movement is KEASAM or KEASAM. Karma Evolution Anti-Satanic Ascending Movement. Meaning that we are arising. There is no downfall. There will be always arising to perfection. Anti-Satanic Ascending Movement. Karma Evolution Anti-Satanic Ascending Movement. KEASAM. So, to dive in, I'm going to go into the meaning of being an anti-shatanic. We're discussing about what is shatanic and the true meaning and history of Shatanic. Once upon a time, human beings were a divine, supernatural creatures. The power was in their sexuality. One day, a certain power which hated that was that we are fruitful and multiply became a thought form unto us in the form of personality. These personalities are called consumers of the stretching or consumers of the expansion of the sprouting of the growth, who is called Satan. So Satan is this consumer of the stretching of sprouting, or in another word, consumer of the expansion of growth. It's the same thing, which is called Satan. And the agents that support him and the followers are called the Shatanic Kingdom. These forces made sure nothing will grow or spread seed. Their desire to destroy the human family and the creation. There was a company of beings called the Shatanic Kingdom. What and how did they do to go about it, to conquer us? What method did they use? Well, I can assure you, based on my years of study and secret knowledge that I'm able to find out, the way to change our understanding and knowledge and wisdom. Wrong interpretation and wrong application of that information. The first thing of doing that, they had to change the meaning of the word Shaitan to only mean Satan, when it's Shaitan, to Satan meaning adversary, accuser. When Shaitan, the meaning of Satan is Shaitan or Shaitan, means consumer of the expansion of growth, or the consumer of the stretching of the sprouting, which deals with expansion of seeds, growth. That is what it deals with. Because everything grows through the seed. What I could say, based on that word, Satan is totally anti-sex, because it involves male and female to produce children. It produces plus and minus to produce electricity, hot and cold to produce lightning, which is also minus and plus charges, to produce life, up and down to produce wave, meaning it's not love, because love produces life. It's anti-love. It's anti-structural. Okay? In that sense, anti-structural, only pansexual throughout creation. The the creature is for sex, fruitfulness. That is what it is. The creatures and the creation is for sex, fruitfulness, love, structure only pansexual. They change the truth. That's why man and woman suffer. They created evil spirits of spirits, or let me say evil priesthoods that had evil spirits in them, and changed the world to control the perception for their deceptions. So they change our view, the way the rules are really, and change the meaning of the words to change our perception for their deception, which was part of the Satanic kingdom. To kill us and to control the planet, they took the Romans their rights. They took away the colorfulness of people's rights by giving and changing the meaning of word of the laws to manipulate women's sexuality and man's sexuality, especially to manipulate the woman's sexuality. We are a movement that wants to find the real truth through practical, experimental, and research. That's why we go through practical ways of informations. This channel is a pan-yin-yang sexual channel. Let us begin with the truth. First thing we have to understand is that our enemy, Shaitan, Creator is evil and wrong at the end, and that we are the evil through the wrong at the end. But the truth is, he set it up in a way. The Shaitan and his agent set it up in a way to give fault to the Creator, so that we are separated from the ultimate power, from the almighty power source. This is what happens. And in this series, we're going to expose and show you example on how they did it. We'll expose the secret on how they manipulated everything. This is a channel for those who want to seek the truth. May the truth set us all free. There is what we want to get. Counter-Evolution Anti-Satanic Ascending Movement. That is our motto. Was the Creator himself living in the physical form manifestation inside the house, which we call the tabernacle, the temple. The pillar of fire or the pillar of light fire was like a hurricane fire or a tornado fire, which you could see at distance, living inside the temple and outside. We were able to see from distance. This is what the story truly was. Before, it was changed, the theology. Now they changed the theology that you don't need to evoke. The kings invented different rules and regulations. You don't need to evoke. You don't need a direct contact with the Creator. So they developed a theology, a way, a perspective, and watered down the story and made spirituality only an invisible endeavor, not really a physical endeavor, a manifestative endeavor. They have distracted humankind with only miracles and signs and wonders. But that was a mistake, because this mistake that we fell for it separated us from the source, which was having that relationship. The enemy intentionally did it. Satan and his kingdom intentionally did this. Why did Satan and his kingdom intentionally do it? It was to destroy humanity. It was to blindfold humanity and his creation. Remember, Satan means the consumer of expansion and growth. Everything that is seed, that grows, trees, anything that sprouts must be destroyed. That is the point. He wants to turn this world into a destructive place, into a destroyed place. And he does that by using lies. He does that by deceiving our leaders and our teachers, blindfolding us with a wrong theology to destroy us. They changed the world in a way that is at levels they have changed. One level is, which I'm going to expose now, is that the sexuality was much importantly involved in the so-called holy evocation of the temple. Sexuality was involved in it. And they made sure that we do not know about that our sexuality is involved. They made sure that we shy about the sexuality. For a lot of things, a lot of problems arose in the manipulation of our sexuality. There are so much more to it, which we want to expose step by step. The rules and regulations of sexuality that you find today in the Bible has been misconstrued. There are more rules, different rules, not the same rules like you and I think. But but we come to that later. They changed those rules generally in the Old Testament of the 5 books of Moses so that we can never have access to the Creator, so that we can kill each other. Why do we need the Creator? I will explain. We have over 7 billion people in this world. 7 billion different perspectives of when people read something. You can have up to 3 million different perspectives if you add it up. Through those different perspectives, the 7 billion will actually produce to 3 million. Okay? The people cannot or will not be able to unite. We have different religions, different systems and mindsets. So the creation of those religions, creation of all those different systems was designed that we as human beings will grow away from each other. The creation of the different occupations, everything is to cause disagreements, because the more we individualize, the more disagreeable we become. The more disagreeable we become, the more the compatibility will be destroyed. We become incapable of becoming compatible, of coming together. This is the mission. So because of different views, of course, there are disagreements. And through disagreements, there is war. So there will be hours war and there will be hours destruction. As you can see, we are in the age of artificial intelligence and robots. Robots and artificial intelligence are going to replace sexuality between man and woman. They are going to replace the creatures of the world, and they will be used to replace us and to torment us. And the movie Matrix will come to pass. That is what's going on. And we're going to prove further on that. But the fact is, we are being made disagreeable by diversifying ourselves, making diversities of mentalities, diversities of occupation, diversities of experience, diversities. Through these diversities, through these governments, through these nations, diversity in language, diversity in everything, religions, everything, we have become disagreeable, incompatible. Thus, we don't know how to love one another. We start to love the AI. We start to love the computer. We start to love our smartphone. We start to love our robots. We start to love those things that we're not supposed to. We fall in love with the things, because the more we value things, the less we value ourselves. That's a quote from Bruce Lee. The more we value things, the less we value ourselves. We value us human creature, our natural power, our given birth of right, what we're supposed to do, because we've been distracted. We have been made to become disagreeable and incompatible. And that will cause ours a war. And that is the system of the theology, manipulation of the word of the Creator to me, because we will never end up in peace. We will always end up in war. In war. And at the end, it's going to not just end up in war, it might end up in unity in the set-off, but it will end up in the destruction of creation. Because Because once He got us in unity, in one unity, then we'll be destroyed. This is the goal, and has been the goal. And that's why they wanted to change the laws of sexuality. That's why they changed the law of having a relationship with the Creator by manifesting it in the supernatural, because they want to make sure that you not become as powerful as the angels that we so-called angels call today, or stronger than the angels, because that was the source of our power. That was made us stronger than them. Okay, the enemies, I'm saying. Before Shaitan came and said, let us manipulate, change the meanings of words, and then changing the law, the way we understand, changing the Hebrew. That is what caused the destruction, and that will destroy us. That is the root cause. And now we're going further to the next level. We had somebody we call Jesus. Jesus wanted to give us the power to restore ourselves. But even that Jesus came to restore ourselves, that theology in that way was also manipulated, so that we do not really and totally get the full meaning. We disconnected Jesus from the Old Testament. Jesus came back on the cross to die for you to have this supernatural capability. In fact, Jesus was the indicator on the writings from Jesus that are still we're not able to change, that we have evidence to prove that the enemy, Satanic kingdom, and the priesthood have changed the law, has changed the truth to a lie, and lie is now the truth. And that's why we don't get and will not get the result. Even though people might say, let us go back and follow the law as is written and translated today, they will be disappointed because the invocation of the higher power will not manifest, because the requirements that are involved has been manipulated, has been changed, the meaning of the requirement, so you don't know. But me, I have the information, and that is the point of why we need to first come together and do the anti-satanic movement. Kema evolution, anti-satanic ascending movement. That is what we are. We are using love to evolve, and we are anti-satanic, because everything from Satan is a mind control. They change their views of sexuality, the rights of women's sexuality, their rules and regulations that they have changed to today's doctrine, which we will expand, because they are important. Love between men and women, okay, the male and the female, love in a society is the first step that we engage into, because by that love we will evolve into the perfect love, the correct love, and we do this through evolution. The rules of evolution are evolving for perfection of love. plans that I can prove to you that we are going to be destroyed if we don't wake up now. If we don't wake up now. What are the things that we need to do to make it now? Because there are things that have been planned in the 1800s by Albert Pike, 1871. Albert Pike letter wrote to Mazzini, dated August 15, 1871, in which it outlined the plans for the world wars that were seen as necessary to bring about one world order. For a short time, this letter was a display of the British Museum Library in London, and it was copied by William Guy Corr, former intelligence officer in the Royal Canadian Navy. Others claim that the information reached Carr via another route. The First World War III, according to what they wrote in 1871, is this: the First World War to overthrow the power of the Tsars in Russia, the protector of the Orthodoxy, and bring about the The First World War to overcome the power of the Tsars, Russia, protector of Orthodoxy, and bring about the anti-theistic communist state. The First World War is to overthrow the power of the Tsars in Russia. The First World War to overthrow the power of the Tsars in Russia, professor orthodoxy, and bring about an atheistic communist state. The Second World War to originate between the Great Britain and Germany to strengthen the communism as an aesthetic to Judean Christian culture and bring about the Zionist state in Israel. The Third World War in the Middle Eastern War involves Judaism and Islam and spreading internationally. This was planned 1871. So it happened that World War II happened and the Zionist state of Israel was created in 1948. And now you see we are in a so-called Third World War between Palestine and the Jews in Israel. For more information, I'm going to show you this video. This is just the start. Now, after you have watched this video, why did they do this? Because it comes again for the proof that there's one thing in the heaven plan is to destroy humanity. Shaitan is behind it. Shaitan is behind it. And that Shaitan wants to destroy us and every one of us. And that's why we are the anti-satanic movement. What you don't know is that our enemy are writing books and they're executing things. But there is a deeper plan behind what they mean. We're gonna show you that in next teaching. So, now, this is the first aspect. Now, we are going to discuss how and what are some of the plans that I can prove to you that we are going to be destroyed if we don't wake up now. If we don't wake up now. What are the things that we need to do to make it now? Because there are things that have been planned in the 1800s by Albert Pike. 1871. Albert Pike letter wrote to Mazzini, dated August 15, 1871, in which it outlined the plans for the world wars that were seen as necessary to bring about one world order. For a short time, this letter was a display of the British Museum Library in London, and it was copied by William Guy Corr, former intelligence officer in the Royal Canadian Navy. Others claim that the information reached Carr via another route. The First World War III, according to what they wrote in 1871, is this: the First World War to achieve the power of the Tsars in Russia, the protector of the Orthodoxy, and bring about the First World War to achieve the power of the Tsars in Russia, professor of Orthodoxy, and bring about an atheistic communist state. The Second World War to originate between the Great Britain and Germany to strengthen the communism as an aesthetic to Judean Christian culture and bring about the Zionist state in Israel. The Third World War in the Middle Eastern War involves Judaism and Islam and spreading internationally. This was planned 1871. So it happened that what was to happen, and the Zionist state of Israel was created in 1948. And now you see we are in the so-called Third World War between Palestine and the Jews in Israel. For more information, I'm going to show you this video. This is just the start. Now, after you have watched this video, why did they do this? Because it comes again for the proof that there's one thing in the heaven plan is to destroy humanity. Satan is behind it. Satan is behind it. And that Satan wants to destroy us and every one of us. And that's why we are the anti-satanic movement. What you don't know is that their enemy are writing books and they're executing things. But there is a deeper plan behind what they mean. I'm gonna show you that in next teaching. Our enemy are writing books and they're executing things. But there is a deeper plan behind what they mean. I'm gonna show you that in next teaching.
Dated 22 January 1870, Mazzini wrote to Pike. Albert Pike is this high mason who wrote this manual, if you like, of Scottish Freemasonry. He said the following: "We must allow all of the federations to continue just as they are. It must appear as things are as they were in the beginning, with their systems, their central authorities, and diverse modes of correspondence between high grades of the same right, organized as they are at present, but we must create a super right, which will remain unknown, to which we will call those Masons of high degree, whom we shall select. With regard to our brothers in Masonry, these men must be pledged to the strictest secrecy. Through this supreme right, we will govern all Freemasonry, which will become the one international center, the more powerful because its direction will be unknown." Now, Albert Pike wrote a letter to Mazzini, and that was dated August 15, 1871, in which he propagated that there should be a world order, a one order where all nations are under the control of one central organization. And in order to achieve this, they planned, and there are numerous quotes for this, so I've put a number on the screen because some will say, I don't trust this, I don't trust that, I don't trust the other. Here are references down there, there are references up there, there will be references in other slides, so it comes from different sources. He said, and this was, by the way, on display in the British Museum and could be seen there until it was taken away. The First World War, to overthrow the power of the Tsars in Russia, protector of orthodoxy, and bring about an atheistic communistic state. Did that happen? Yes. Now that was written long before this event. Long before this event. This was written in 1871. This war broke out in 1914. The Second World War. That's also written long before the event. To originate between Great Britain and Germany, to strengthen communism as antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture, and bring about a Zionist state in Israel. Did it achieve this objective? Yes. In fact, after this war, Israel, in its present form, was reinstated under the protection of Britain. And then, interestingly enough, a Third World War, a Middle Eastern war involving Judaism and Islam, and spreading internationally. That's fascinating. Is that we are on track? Well, here's another quote, just in case people don't like that quote. Mazzini with Pike developed a plan for 3 world wars so that eventually every nation would be willing to surrender its national sovereignty to a world government. The first war was to end the Tsarist regime in Russia, the second to allow the Soviet Union to control Europe, the Third World War was to be in the Middle East between Muslim and Jews and would result in Armageddon. Interesting. Now, how were they going to do it? Let's read what Albert Pike wrote about these wars and how they were going to be unleashed. He wrote, quote, "We shall unleash the nihilist and the atheist," so the destroyer and the atheist, "and we will provoke a formidable social cataclysm which in its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism. origin of savagery and the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the minority of revolutionaries will exterminate these destroyers of civilization, and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, will receive the pure light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer. The destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Wow, what a clever plan. So you rub the two systems which you create up against the other. You create atheism as an antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture. You have these two clash until they rub each other up, and then out of that you will get a new world order where you have a new religion which is far more esoteric and actually honors Satan. Isn't that a rather clever plan? Well, it's very successful. That is why Ordo ab Cao is the verse, if you like, that Freemasonry uses. This is one of their documents, remember, that I photographed in a Masonic lodge.
Declare the glory of the bomb, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
His sound is gone out unto all the lands, and his light unto the end of the world.
He descendeth from the outermost part of heaven, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. There is neither speech nor language, yet his voice is heard among them.
Praise him, my strength and my Redeemer.
Glory be to the bomb and to the holy fallout, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Almighty and everlasting bomb, who came down among us to make heaven under earth, lighten our darkness. O instrument of God, grant us thy peace.
Almighty God, who destroyed all their births and created angels, behold his glory.
Behold the truth that abides in us. Reveal that truth unto that Maker.
I reveal my inmost self unto my God.
Unto my God.
Everyone go to his private shelter. Empty the streets. There to find the city of the dead. May the blessing of the Balm Almighty and the fellowship of the Holy Fallout descend on us all, this day and forevermore.
This missile, called Sarmat or Satan II, is the most advanced nuclear missile in the world. Its warheads are impossible to intercept. The fact is that this is the first missile in the world.
The RS-28 Sarmat ICBM, known as Satan II, is a formidable weapon in Russia's strategic arsenal. It officially entered operational service in September 2023.